Welcome here to the Twin Cities, Minnesota, where we're at Seafoam Stadium. Minnesota Wind Chill versus Chicago Union. It's a big game for both teams. Minnesota at 8-1 have clinched the number 1 seed in the Central Division, but still a lot to play for as they're going for overall league standings. And the Chicago Union 5-4. They're in the battle for 2 of those playoff spots with 3 other teams in the Central. So big game today, Kelsey. Important for both teams. Maybe a little explanation. Unable to get that there as Taylor's in the backfield. Risky throw. Gets it up to Vandy Mortel, who's double-teamed on the sideline. That means somebody's open. Goes for the forehand. And Draymond with the disc now. Gets it up to Weiss. Almost in the end zone. And that'll be a score there for Shanahan.
That's a tough one. So the success for this Union team.
That it was. And Larson gets it up to Bergmeyer with the sliding catch. Takes a couple steps afterwards. Johnson up to Bergmeyer. It's going to hang for him. He lays out, and he makes the grab. That's a score. Chicago's calling it down, but we'll have to see a replay on that one. It hung up there a while.
Yeah, probably a little bit further, but I loved Bergmeyer taking over with his leg.
And an immediate double team by Minnesota.
Yeah, it looks like Hansen is taking the Matthews matchup.
And Draymond drops it. That's one of those unforced errors I was talking about. Lacey picks up in the red zone. Vanoka evades a diving Draymond. Hansen's got it, sends it to Vanoka, and he makes the grab.
How did he even get there? It leaves Hansen's hands. I see 2 defenders.
And Kaminsky has the disc. We're already over halfway through the first quarter here. I did not even realize that as Weiss on the far side of the field. Up to Kaminsky. Back into Weiss. And what a play. That almost looked like a push pass, but well, and now that it's upwind, downwind, Minnesota has been doing these roller pulls, getting the hands up, and that's a missed play. Shanahan has to lay out for it, and he makes the grab. Lithio with a risky throw. And now a hammer barely over the top to Shanahan. You can see both teams currently 50% for holds. Chicago's looking for theirs again as an OI throw from Kaminsky. Thought about going Vanoka deep. Higher stall count. Goes up. And Chicago able to get the D. That was a high stall count. Ruben Miller with the D. And they'll get the disc right on the doorstep of the goal line.
Yeah, they were just far enough out that it won't be centered, but still very dangerous space.
Yep, and Astrom gets it over to Priest for the goal. Kicks the disc. It was almost bad. It was definitely close to landing in. McCoskey gets the disc up to Bergmeyer, who evades the defender. Bergmeyer goes up to Larson, chased by Sjogren, but Larson comes down with it with 40 seconds left.
What a huge grab. I thought Larson had gone up way too early, but elevates.
And very interesting thus far. Chicago thus far has averaged 15 points against Minnesota. They're already at 7. Make it 8 for Weiss. That's a tough matchup. 3 seconds left on the clock.
Minnesota
currently in the Central. That would really put some pressure on Chicago to win this one. As Chicago goes deep, Kaminsky up to Matthews. Continuation up to Barry, marked by Ruben Miller. And the lefty backhand. Chicago made a great attempt at it, but Klain ends up with it anyways.
That was an incredible effort from Chicago. That was so close. You heard the gasp in the stands. I might have let out a gasp right now. Again, I think the majority of it has been non-intentional, but they're playing very physically on Draymond.
Absolutely. And a poach, and Shanahan tips it up and over Hansen.
Harken back to last game. Do you remember a D by Dylan DeClerc that Shanahan still...
Reset, who gets it over to Sjogren, marked by Vanoka. That's a fun matchup, and Mattis goes straight through Shanahan, and that was a great play by Mattis. That's the block we were looking for.
That's a win in of itself.
Yeah, and Ruben Miller able to reach through the double team, got the disc up to Pappas, and now a block by Rader on Astrom, and he liked that. That was a hand block.
There's the double hand, maybe protect my face.
Diving Chicago defender.
Harris almost got that. He's been so explosive in those small spaces.
And now a throw into the end zone, and that's Barry for the score. Taylor assists. Just a couple seconds left on the clock to bring it back within 3.
After the inexplicable confusion in the first quarter.
Get a double team to effect a throw, but Chicago able to get the disc up to the goal line. Draymond able to get it to the end zone. It looks good if they catch it, and Lithio catches it for the score, and that is a heartbreaker. You got Weiss and Lithio down there. Great throw by Draymond. Deep elects to take the under to Rader, who goes over the top to Barry, who has 2 assists already, goes across the far side of the field to Sovel Fernandez, who makes the grab, and that was a lot of contact from Harris. That looked like it hurt, but Sovel Fernandez gets up, and he seems okay from this, but that was a lot of contact there, and that might fire up. So now a double team. Draymond is wide open on the near side of the field. Chicago gets it to him. He's got Sjogren. A close opportunity there for Minnesota.
Matej Petrovic has been just slightly out of position on all of these deeps. That one, he actually...
In the red zone, forehand, and Sovel Fernandez with the grab.
But yeah, they've got to change something, because this is not how you get 6th in the league on defensive scores.
Hammer over the top from Brandt into Barry after a great save by Klein. Barry knows it was close. Able to recover. The disc now in the hands of Hansen at the 30. A push pass up to Bergmeyer, who fires deep for McCoskey. Chicago nowhere near the disc, and McCoskey's got it. And so, yeah, this is very important. That's why they elected to take a timeout. Disc hangs in the air forever, and even Rader can't get it. It's an immediate turn. Ruben Miller gets it into Steslicki, and that's right after a timeout. Cannot come down with it. Minnesota will get the disc in the corner.
Yeah, it was such a good throw that Brian Vanoka actually gave up on it, stopped running after Matthews, but then Matthew just kind of doinks it, maybe.
Kelsey's calling for a travel here in the booth. I respect it. But Kaminsky gets the disc over to Shanahan, and almost a drop there by Lithio, but he's able to make the catch. Gets it up to Matthews. They're in the red zone again. Shanahan up to Sjogren, and that's another score. And if they score here, that's 6 goals. Draymond releases the lefty backhand. It's Mattis against Weiss. Mattis jumps early. Weiss with a little body there. And he's patient, and he gets the goal, and that's a 6-goal lead.
Big, shiny, up-and-coming class, and one of those, Anthony Jurley, brand new rookie to this team, and he gets the D.
Defensive side of the disc, and then once they do, scoring from that. Sovel Fernandez goes long forehand to Taylor, who goes for the continuation to Barry, and now Klein is there in the end zone for the score. Definitely some good performances around. Larson up to, that's Krennic in the end zone. I believe that gets credited to Astrom with the D, calls out the head top.
With 20 seconds left to play, Minnesota was still deep in their own end zone. They weren't seeing a lot of movement. That's why you saw that shot go up to Krennic. Huge play from Astrom there to punch it in. That's an all-around win for Chicago. They win with their offense. They win with their defense. They win their end of quarters. Phenomenal performance. Well done.
Absolutely, and as we look at who we have to give the player of the game to, you could go Shanahan with 4 assists, 5 goals. You could go Kaminsky with 3 goals, 3 assists. You could also go the D-line with Ruben Miller having 3 Ds, excuse me, and also a +5 on the defensive line primarily.
What I'm hearing is team.
It was a
win for Chicago.